Good morning, America. Well, I'm just saying good morning, America, because some of the things I've been reading lately are a bit disturbing. So, as some of y'all know, I've been unemployed for about 6 months now, and I'm unemployed from the tech field. So I started looking around and see what kind of jobs are out there. I saw this thing on Facebook comes up and it says that Tyson's going to hire 52,000 migrants, but then it talks about a plant closing. Didn't the math didn't quite match up? So I started looking around and said, sure enough, Tyson isn't going to do this. They just, from what I remember, about 4 or 5 years ago, they had immigration hit their plants and so forth up and down. I think it was Mississippi, actually. I don't remember, to be honest with you, deporting a bunch of people that were there illegally. So I guess you could say they actually have a history of it. But so I got looking into it, and sure enough, I did find out Tyson does want to hire more um, illegal immigrants. But see, they don't want to just hire illegal immigrants. They want to make them legally able to work. So let's go over this a little bit because going to these articles, it mentions the meatpacking company is working with a company called Tent Partnership. So let's get back over this now. So here we have it. So the news is reporting this has been on all kinds of news media and so forth. In Perry, Iowa, this plant is closing down, having layoffs and so forth. Pork plants and people. This lady here, she's been working there for 30 years, and she's frustrated. Apparently, just last week or so, they had a meeting, and then of course, looking into this here, I found out that Dexter, another plant closed, and then found out that they're having. So in 2023, they announced 8 total plants are closing. So how are they closing 8 plants and then hiring some 50,000 displaced, is what they're calling them, migrants, because they're loyal. Well, you know what? Something else. Americans can be loyal too. We need to get back to. Do y'all remember in the 80s? I think it was 80s, 90s when we had that "Made in America, by America, for America." We need to get back to that. We need to go back to this buying America. Forget all this BS of well, So here we are. I'm getting off track here, and I'm getting a little upset here and so forth because this is wrong. And I don't care how cheap it gets. I think I'm gonna stop buying Tyson. I should have stopped buying it long years ago, I guess, but nonetheless, I didn't. So here we have it. They're closing these plants and stuff like that. I haven't figured out how or where they're going to hire all these people. But that's what they say. Tyson says that they want to hire uh, illegal immigrants in New York. In New York, it says uh, we're very, very loyal. Tyson Foods is hiring a number of illegal immigrants who have recently arrived in New York. I haven't figured out this yet because they also talk about their. Sorry, y'all, my blood just keeps on boiling here when I'm reading through this. They already employ 42,000 immigrants and refugees. So part of what they do here is they work with this company called Tent. So Tent is a nonprofit, okay, uh, and this guy they work with Uber and other companies. We'll go through that here. Cisco, all kinds of companies. I was got looking on Facebook to see who they are. Um, so who is Tent? So Tent was created by this guy. He came from Turkey in 1994. So this guy came here and he came to escape and get college education from the mistreatment of Kurds. And that's a whole thing in its own. And I don't remember all the details of that, but seems to me like he was an actual refugee coming here from persecution and so forth. Where those people come across our border are not. So that's just get that straight out, because there are refugees and there are people who are not refugees. So what happens when our country fails? Where do we go? Well, we don't have anywhere to go. That's the truth of it. We don't have anywhere to go. So this guy came in '94, started his company, Chobani, and I'm sure everybody's seen his yogurts and so forth, his Greek yogurts that people just love. And I like it. Well, most of the time I like it. Sometimes it gets a little tart for me, but nonetheless. So I got to look and see, of course. Well, I don't remember. I didn't remember why did the Kurds? Why were the Kurds in Turkey? So it happened in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, which was just a little bit before my time. And it looks like they were invited there originally. Sound familiar? People are invited by governments who don't really want them. People don't really want them. So Tyson here in 2022 says that they were committed to hiring 2,500 refugees over 3 years in the United States. And of course, they're saying legitimate refugees, of course. Of course they are. So here in 2023, it says they committed to mentoring 50 refugee women, mentoring 50 Hispanic refugees over 3 years, and 50 Afghan refugees. Being unemployed, sure, I'd like someone to mentor me and get me into a job. I went to school. I studied, worked in the field for 10 years. IT. A little frustrating here. Here's a little information about the first quarter. So Tyson actually, first quarter sales were up. Operating income was low. That's Bidenomics for you. All these companies are having more in sales because their prices increase. They're having less profit because their costs are increasing too. Imagine that. Who could have guessed that would happen? So Tyson's saying that it's just not true, right? Tyson's saying that in recent days, there's been a lot of misinformation in the media about our company. We feel compelled to set this record straight. Tyson Foods is strongly opposed to illegal immigration. Check this out. Opposed to illegal immigration, right? So that's why Tyson wants to work with this other company, Tent, or this other nonprofit, tent.org, and other politicians to give these displaced illegal immigrants permission to work. And Tyson's saying that they're for working jobs that people don't want to work. And so Garrett Dolan, human resource leader at Tyson, told Bloomberg, and I haven't found this video, but this is what I've seen. Everyone is in quotes and so forth, so assuming it's correct. While there's misinformation, this is coming from several places, and apparently there was an interview with Bloomberg. Like to hire another 42,000. He says, we're recognizing there's not a lot of people that are going to be working labor manufacturing jobs that are American. Well, when you start taking all the other jobs away, what is there? They're sending our tech jobs to other countries. So what is there left to do? Labor manufacturing jobs. And we need to keep it here. There's a high turnover rate for frontline employees. Of course there is. There always has been. People start there, they get their education, and they move up to other jobs. The ones who want to are the ones who want to, the ones that can, the ones who push forward. Education. That's what we've always taught. How about this? Those jobs start at $16.50 an hour. I haven't looked to see how much these people in these factories are making now. But yeah, I bet they'd like to have $16.50 an hour to start. Tyson is also providing migrant workers with other benefits: childcare, transportation, English classes. The new hires from New York also get temporary housing. How about that? A relocation stipend to move to Humboldt. Okay, there it goes, Humboldt. Paid time off. I gotta love that. All right, where is Humboldt? See, Humboldt. Tyson. Humboldt jobs and careers. Let's see. Let's check this out real quick. A new poultry complex. Well, it's not pork, so I guess they're saying it's unrelated to the closing of the pork factory. Why don't they make the pork factory into a poultry factory? I don't know. Anyhow, Humboldt, Tennessee. All right, y'all. So this is just 1.5 million for legal aid service. Where are they getting all this money? Is Tyson just saying, "Hey, we're going to spend our money on this"? No, Tyson's getting something out of it. I don't know what it is yet, but they're getting something out of it. Check this out. In 2023, they paid for 1,317 workers to become U.S. citizens. They're very loyal. Very loyal. They've been uprooted, and what they want is stability. So, anyhow, so Tyson's closing facility in Perry, laying off 1,200 workers, but they are hiring a shit ton of people someplace else, and they're spending all this money, to make people legal citizens when we have Americans here. And actually, looking at a lot of the people in Perry, apparently not everybody is a born U.S. citizen. They're resident aliens and so forth, just from other things I saw. But this is what's happening, yo. This is what's happening. Our American companies are letting go of American people to bring in migrants. Migrants who chose to come here, migrants who paid cartel members to get here, and then get here, and they want us to give them ours. All right, y'all. This is just a beginning, I'm sure. Y'all say, wow. Think about it.